In this video, I'll show you how to make a hardcover pamphlet-style journal. You'll need some thin paper for your pages, a decorative sheet of paper for your end sheets, 2 boards for your covers, a piece of book cloth, which is specially designed for bookbinding, some wax paper, and a scrap sheet of paper. You'll also need wax linen bookbinding thread, a pencil, a bone folder, a brush for your glue, a glue stick, an awl for punching holes, scissors, an embroidery needle, PVA glue, and a knife. Set your chipboard down on the back side of the book cloth and trace the outline around the boards. You can use a ruler to make sure that this is more straight. You also want to make sure to have space in between your 2 boards. Mine's a little less than ½ inch. Next, mix up some of your PVA with a little bit of water to thin it out. Apply a thin layer of the glue to the book cloth where the board will go. Press the board down into place and remove your scrap paper. Then flip it over and use the bone folder to make sure it adheres. Repeat this step on the other side. Make sure to use the bone folder to flatten and crease all of the folds on the book cloth. Trim the corners at an angle, leaving a little bit of room so that when you fold it over, the board doesn't show. Do this on all 4 corners. Apply glue to the edge of the book cloth. Watch out for the wet glue spots and make sure to fold it over. Remove your scrap paper so you don't get glue on your book cloth. Then use the bone folder to flatten that fold. Repeat this step to fold over all 4 edges of your book cloth. Do one side at a time, and as you go, press down with the bone folder and crease the corners. Now take all of your pages and your end sheet and fold them in half together, first using your hands and then use the bone folder. But make sure the decorative part of your paper actually faces the inside because it'll be your end sheet. Whoopsies! Now open the book up to the center and use your awl to punch a hole directly through the center. Then punch 1 hole about 1 inch away from each edge, 3 holes total. Take your linen thread and measure 1, 2, and 1/2 times the length of your book. Flatten the end of the thread and thread it through the needle. Then leave a small tail and bring it down. Don't tie any knots. Begin by sewing through that center hole and pulling your thread through until you have a small tail at the end and hold it. Next, sew through the bottom hole. Then pull it through and bring it all the way up and over to the top hole. Pull that through, and then enter back into the center hole. Remove your needle now, and make sure that the thread goes underneath that long stitch in the center, so that you can tie a double knot around that long stitch. And cut off your extra thread, leaving a small amount, and bone fold your book so that it's flat. Check the fit of your book inside your cover. If it pokes out a small amount like this, you might want to trim off the foredge. Simply use a straight edge and an X-Acto knife with multiple passes. Now it should fit with a little bit of space all around. Set your book inside of your cover and put a scrap piece of paper in between the pages and the end sheet. Use your glue stick to apply glue all over the end sheet to attach it to the cover. Do not use your PVA for this part because it'll be too wet for the paper. Make sure you glue all the way to the edges. Remove the scrap paper and position the book inside of the cover. Then close the cover shut and apply pressure. Open that up and use the bone folder on the end sheet. Do this on both sides. When that's done, put wax paper in between all the sheets and the covers and put the book underneath pressure. Let it dry over time. The wax paper will absorb any moisture and your book will be complete once it's dry.